Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 3rd of March, 2024. I hope the sound is better now. I changed the computer. Today's video is my struggle with Christianity, part 2. In fact, I don't just struggle with Christianity. Since I was about 14, 15, I struggled with all religions. And I'm calling this video my struggle with Christianity for for a reason. I struggled also with Islam more than Christianity. However, in my own personal opinion, Christianity is the leading nations. Most Islamic nations are, we call them in Arabic, like consuming nations. Consumers, they only consume whatever is provided. So if you are to talk to somebody, you talk more to the person who is responsible. And Christianity definitely is taking responsibility for the world, followed by other religions, but definitely Islam will come in the bottom. I know they don't believe that, or they don't want to believe that because everyone wants to think I am on top. I am the best, specifically with the ideology that the founder of Islam, when he came, he told them, you are the most high. Antum al-a'laun. You are the most high. And they believe this nonsense despite that they are really in the bottom. Anyway, nevertheless, it's not the issue now. Um, why do I struggle with Christianity? Sometimes. Uh, I received one comment of last week's video, which is the same title. This is just part two, and it says this is probably the most I felt I should talk about, that God wants the best for me, for us as human being, and no one will disagree with that. Like if I have children, I want the best for them. And if God, as it is in Christianity, is the Father and we are the children, I would assume similarly, He wants the best for us. Reality is different though. If you ask any human being, even if he or she is very wealthy, they will tell you, I'm not happy. There is always something painful. Uh, and the reality of the world situation today, it suggests that there's something wrong. We're actually on the prefaces of World War III. And that's not a secret. What's happening in the Middle East, here in the United States, in Canada, in Mexico, everywhere, China, everybody is standing ready to fight. If God wants the best for each one of us, this is the question. Okay, I agree God wants the best for us. But when you say that, uh, does God know that we are about to cut each other's throat? So it is confusing to average person. So this is what I want to talk about here, and in a way, hopefully, because I see Islam now is really many Muslim people and Muslim leaders left this nonsense. They are standing against Islam, and I said it even when I started this video, this channel, this video channel, that Islam is already dead. It's just a matter of time to get rid of it. And many people are talking boldly now online about this situation, and they are more educated in the subject than me because I was never really into Islam. I studied Islam after I decided to create a video channel. I studied quite a bit in Islam. But these are people who went to Islamic university and studied for 25, 30 years. And they have wealth of knowledge about this nonsense called Islam. And they are fighting. So in the beginning, when there were few people here and there attacking Islam or standing against Islam, they thought it's we had few people like that in the history of Islam before, and they passed, and Islam endured. However, today's attack is different. The internet made it very easy to open the nonsense in Islam, and they are trying to fight back, but it will not happen that they will resurrect again or take that prestigious position they put themselves in before. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Anyway, I'm speaking to Christianity because Christianity is the response. They are the responsible people. Let's put it this way. They are leading the world, like it or not, love it or hate it. Even if you hate religions and you hate Christianity, like many people do, I know of, just tremendous hate towards Jews and Christian. You know who these people are. Um, anyway, once they are done with Islam, believe me, believe me when I say you are next. You can't separate Judaism from Christianity, so they will be both attacked equally. The question here is, are you ready for that? Are you? When you read, I'm going to speak about my own struggle, why I struggled with this. And it has to have an answer. Otherwise, your faith, the faith of Christianity, will not differ from the faith of Islam. In Christianity, actually in all religions, God is in control and you are like a piece of the puzzle. He knows where it falls and he's going to put you where you belong. And some belong to heaven and some belong to hell. Finished. It's over with. You cannot negotiate anything. And if this is the fact, why are we bothering ourselves? If this is reality, really, uh, a person will end up, maybe he's trying very hard to help himself, help his family, help other people, but let's say he is Buddhist. He will end up in hell according to Christian teaching and Muslim too, by the way, because he did not follow the right path. He will end up in hell. And God knows there are Muslim, there are Buddhists, there are all kind of religions. They will all end up in hell. And he knows that, and he created them this way. And this what does not enter the head of an average person, really. So I'm asking you to take a step back and try to go back from beginning. There was one man in the Bible, the Old Testament, and in Quran referred to as Adam. However, the name is not really important. Who started the human race? And the Creator, God, told him not to do certain thing, whatever. It says a tree, to eat of a fruit. Nobody really goes crazy about a fruit or about anything to eat, especially if you're not hungry. You know, it says he told him to eat of any fruit except one. So you're not hungry. Why would you go to eat? something poisonous if you are not hungry. Stupid. Anyway, that's not the issue now. And we know that this man, Adam, went against the will of God and he ate, and consequently, he suffered. His descendants, his offspring, one killed the other. And that is a conflict between two brothers. This because it was one family then. But then that conflict grew as the family grew. It became one family against another family, one tribe against one tribe, one nation against one nation. And now we have the whole world divided in half. One half is against the other half, worldwide conflict. And the narrative that Christianity and the rest of religious people giving is God knew exactly what will happen. He made it this way. The best comment came to me was God wants the best for you. He created you and with the best intention for you. If I take this actually very good uh, idea, because if he wants the best for me, I could goof on my own. I could choose wrongly. But does God know my outcome, my choice? All religions say you have the freedom to choose, but God knows where will you choose. If he knows where will you choose, it means he decided it already. You see the dilemma I'm in and the struggle I'm in. If God knows that I'm going to choose wrong, why should he ask me, why did you do wrong? If you are designing me to go the wrong path, don't ask me. This is like designing, let's say, a car that goes 50 miles an hour and another car that goes 100 miles an hour. And then the maker of the two cars blame the car that it is designed to go 50 miles an hour. Why don't you go 100 miles an hour? You decided that. God decided that for this person. And the common sense or the logic here says you cannot ask him why. Why is he doing evil if he is doing evil? Why is he hurting others? You created him this way, and he has no choice, really. You tell him that you have a choice, but he has no choice. If I have a choice, it means the outcome unknown, even to God, is unknown because it's depending on me choosing what. So we can't have it both ways. God knows, God created me to go one direction, but he gave me two choices. But he knows you are going to take this because he created you this way. If a judge a person, let's say a person who is missing an arm and he cannot produce as much as a person with two arms, and then you try to put him in hell because of that or punish him because of that. No, that does not make sense. So that is in the beginning. Now, I have something also for Christianity that I struggled with is all Christian, probably without exception. I don't know, it's hard to say with anyway. They have that dogma that Jesus came to die for you, to pay for your sin. First, I don't want anyone to die for me. I would prefer somebody to live for me. Like when you get married, you don't want your spouse, your wife, or your husband to die for you. You want to live together, long life. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Let's take him. Let's examine. I'm pounding now on Christianity. Jesus came 2000 years ago. He was rejected by the Jews. Now, the question here is, did he come to be accepted or rejected? If he came to be rejected and crucified, he has to be rejected. If he came to be crucified, he has to be rejected first. If you accept him, if the Jews have accepted him, I have very hard time believing that after my wife accepts me, she's going to kill me. If they accept him and loved him, I don't think they will kill him. There is, if I put two options, A and B. Option A, God is sending the Messiah. And there are two options. It's either he should be accepted or rejected. Accepted, he will be embraced. Option A. Rejected, he will be crucified. Why did he come? If he came to be crucified, to die for me, and the Jews have done that, they did a good job. We should tell them Christianity in all Christians should go to, when you see a Jewish person, tell him thank you very much for fulfilling your role, killing the Messiah. Nevertheless, we see something different. There is anger, actually. You killed Christ. And he himself, actually, if you read his own words, I remember he said to the Jewish leaders, I know you are Abraham. When they were telling him we are Abraham's children, he told them, I know you are Abraham's children, but you want to kill me. He wasn't happy about that. He said, oh, you are fulfilling my wish. I came here to be killed, so you're doing well. No, he called them brood of vipers, rather. And nobody likes to be called like this. Is like, I'm sorry, today equivalent like to tell somebody you're a son of a something, the B word. No, no one would want to be that. So did he come to die? You see, he didn't want to die. He was not so happy about his own killing. Did God send him to die? What if the Jewish leaders, okay, put the other option now. If really people have free will and they can choose, not the fisherman and the tax collector, the lowest of the lowest, excuse me, but really the top Jewish leaders accepted him, embraced him, loved him, and served him. Very hard to believe that they will kill him then. What would be the narrative? Christianity and the Christian leaders never really wanted to look into that. And that is a struggle not just for me, but for atheists, non believers, those who feel that religions are nonsense, which I believed for so long. But I had certain respect for the level of sacrifice and love of a man called Jesus. Hard to be matched by any other man in history. And that's why this is a struggle for me and for many. And it has to be settled. And it has to be settled by looking into what was the other option. For me, do I have a choice? Did Adam, the first man, had a choice? If he did, what is the narrative? What could have happened if he chose right, if he didn't disobey God or ate of the forbidden fruit? What would be the narrative? What would be situation of humanity. No one gave us that uh, answer, an answer to this question. And if he did, where would Jesus stand? What I mean, Christianity never spoke about that. What if Adam did not sin? Do we need Jesus to come? To do what? There is no sin. Okay? So, and when Jesus came and he was rejected, let's also look into the other side. If he was accepted, if he was accepted, do you think the Jews would suffer today as they are, as what is happening? If he became the king of the Jews right then, I think the very first people he would reach out to is his cousins, the Arabs, and he will elevate their conscience to the message of love and forgiveness that he spoke of, that and purity when he spoke of looking at a woman with unpure eyes is equal to committing adultery. Do you think somebody like the founder of Islam 600 years later could come and say, oh, you can marry one, two, three, up to four wives, and you can have as many concubines as as you wish? They would have kicked his booty, right? Nobody would, no conscientious person with that level of purity will accept this garbage. And the Jews would not have the Arabs as enemies. That's if you really open your eyes and look into the other side. But everyone, unfortunately, Christian, Jesus came to die for me, and that's it. No one wants to look elsewhere. I don't want anybody to die for me. I don't want anybody to die, period. I mean, natural death, that's fine. We all die. But I don't want anybody to be hanging on a cross for me or for you or for anyone. That's my struggle. I'm sharing this with you. I hope to hear from you. I hope you write lots of comments. I want to know. Thank you. Have a good day.